Hey delegates, welcome to your June update. Just a few quick things. First off, thank you so much to Stephanie, Mike, and Diane for all the work that they did this year to bring us this WEF Max season. It was fantastic events, and I hope you all got a chance to attend at least one. This is nominations month. Nominations for standing committees, delegates at large, and Speaker-Elect are all due by July 15th. We're using the open water platform, so if you go to wef.org and search for the House delegates, there's a link that directs you right to the site. Next up is volunteer service recognition nominations. Each year there are up to 15 of these recognitions given, 12 for committees and 3 for the House of Delegates. If you go to the volunteer service recognition page on wef.org, you'll find a link that takes you to open water to fill out an application. Lastly, we have 2 special interviews this month, one with Kam Law and the other with Kristi Steiner. Hope you enjoy and have a great month.
Hi, Kam. Thank you so much for doing this delegate spotlight with me today. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Good, thank you. So tell me about yourself. Where are you from? Where do you live? What member association do you represent?
Yeah, so I'm with the Illinois WEA. Where do I come from? So I was born and I grew up in Hong Kong, and then I came to the United States for college. I went to University of Kansas for both of my bachelor and my master of engineering degrees. Yeah, and then after that, I found my first job in Rockford, Illinois. So that's kind of like that's the migration from Kansas, from Hong Kong to Kansas and from Kansas to Illinois.
Wow, was that a culture shock going to Kansas from Hong Kong?
Yes, that was quite a shock. So it's almost like a personal goal, after Kansas, after Rockford. It's like I need to go back to, I need to go back to a city where I can take public transportation.
Ah, yes.
So yeah. Yes. So yeah.
And then you're Dr. Kam Law, correct? You received your PhD?
Yep. I just got my PhD from University of Nevada in Reno.
Yeah, I have to say that is my alma mater. That's where I went to college. So go UNR, Nevada.
I remember that's when I first met you from the conference there, the Nevada WEA conference.
That is, I was going to say, we have known each other for quite some time now. Was that 5, 6 years ago? It has been a while.
Yes. Yeah, so I graduated in May last year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So how did you get into water? What is your water story?
It's not really a story. I mean, nothing exciting there. So I actually was working on bioremediation when I was in school, when I was working on my master. I just got my first job in Rockford, Illinois, working for a wastewater equipment manufacturer. So that's kind of like how the whole wastewater theme just kept on going.
So did you plan on doing wastewater in college, or just, oh, well, here's a job, let me apply for it, and then you just kind of fell into it?
It's kind of like that.
Usually how it is.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking I would be in bioremediation, when I was in school, but it didn't pan out that way.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, this is kind of a bioremediation in some sense, I mean, doing wastewater in biological treatment.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah. And so can you tell me about your experiences as an Asian in the water industry? How have you had great experiences? Have there been anything negative? Just tell me what your experiences are.
Yeah, it hasn't been bad at all. I mean, I don't usually look at myself differently. When I go to school, I just take my classes and I just do my homework. I mean, nothing really special there, or nothing that would make me think like I don't fit in. And everybody who I met, I mean, it was a very good experience. They were very helpful. Yeah. So and then after graduation, when got my first job, and again, everybody who I met, they are very, very helpful. And they don't look at me differently. So I think from that perspective, it has been a very enjoyable experience.
That's great to hear. And also, as a minority in the water industry, I've had the same experience with you. I don't look at myself as being different from other people. We're here for water, we're here for engineering, and I am your equals. So when you project that to someone, you're going to get that back. So,
Yep, I 100% agree.
oh, great. So, is there anything special about yourself, anything funny, interesting that you want other delegates and WEF to know? This is a curveball question. I know we always have to
I
ask
know
it.
you did not prep me on that one. Nothing really. Yeah, I mean, just a typical boring engineer. I mean, nothing.
Oh, we're not boring. Not hidden talents, instruments.
No, I have no talent on that whatsoever. No.
Oh,
But
same here. One and the same.
Yeah. No, I mean, really nothing. I mean, I like to go kayaking in summer, but that's pretty much about it.
You do that in Lake
Get
Michigan?
back to water. Yeah, Lake Michigan or Chicago River.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So whatever chance I get, just get back to water.
Oh, great. As with all of us. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today and getting to let us know you a little better. We appreciate you and we appreciate everything you do for delegates. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you for the opportunity talking with you. And it's good to catch up with you after all these years.
I know, always. Thank you so much.
Welcome this month. Kristi Steiner is our interviewee this month. She is a project manager at Jacobs in Portland, Oregon, and a delegate from the Pacific Northwest Clean Water Association. Kristi, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
I am fantastic and super excited to be here.
Awesome. Well, we're excited to hear from you today. So tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into water?
So I was lucky enough to have parents that were very focused on experience instead of forcing me into books, which I also liked. But in middle school, my dad took me on a weekend to a job site with him. He was helping a civil engineer develop a new well for they were investigating for a water plant or a water bottling plant. And he took me out with him and I was like playing in the dirt, half listening to what the civil engineer was saying. He was talking about soils and water table, and that's about all I remember. But I remember walking away thinking and like feeling like water is super freaking cool. Like I didn't know it was anything more than like the toilet and the faucet and like the rivers I slide down on the rocks. So later that year, I did a science project on water filtration, and then I did a soil and water conservation contest where I learned about watersheds, and then it was all kind of rolled from there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we're super glad that you chose water. I know you and I are good friends, and I have really appreciated getting to work with you over the last few years in PNCWA. And you even moved MAs from out in Virginia out to the Pacific Northwest. So you've been all across the country.
Wow.
And one thing I know about you from the work we've done is that you're a strong advocate for other women in the water sector. And so can you give me a little bit of what advice you would give to women who are entering this workforce?
So I think it's really important, maybe this applies to men too, but for women especially, to take the time, and it's not always easy because it's usually not paid and outside of work, but take the time to understand your strengths and your values, write them down, and then live them and be confident in them. Because once you have that confidence in your values and the value you bring to the team, it becomes easier to stand your ground because you know where you stand. And it's easier to still be respectful of the people around you, even if they're maybe not being so respectful back. And as a woman, that's a really important skill to carry through your career. I'd also say don't be afraid to embrace the fact that you're a woman. You don't have to feel like you need to conform to be more manly just to be successful in this industry. I think our industry has grown so much. I mean, just in the 9 years I've been part of it, there's tons of amazing and really successful men and women, and both that are more than willing to be advocates for like the rock star women in our industry. So look for those advocates and be confident in yourself, because it's really where you'll find growth and success.
Well, that's awesome. Well, you talked a little bit there about finding advocates, and I want to dive into that a little bit. Can you share with me about a time that you were mentored in your career, and what advice or what help they gave you in terms of developing?
So I think mentorship is probably one of the easiest things for me to point to, and my success thus far. Before I even decided this was really the industry I was going to get into in grad school, I met a man named John Fletcher, and he brought me into the WEF family, and he really solidified my love for the wastewater industry and the people in it. When he met me, I was struggling with confidence. I was having a really hard time understanding and seeing like where I fit in any of this. And I was questioning whether it was the path I really wanted to be on, because I didn't see a lot of myself in it. And so at the end of the day, I mean, it took him a couple years to crack through my shell, and he still gives me a lot of great advice, and we're still very good friends. But I think at the end of the day, when I drill down to it, he really helped me feel like I had a seat at the table, and that wastewater was my family, and that's where I wanted to be. And so I'm super grateful for him. And then a couple years ago, sorry, I'm giving you two mentors, my top two. A few years ago, when I joined, right after I joined PNCWA, Steven, actually, I think you were the one that encouraged me to be the Students and Young Professionals Committee Chair. Thank you for that. But after my first annual in-person meeting, Court Harris from the PNCWA board at the time, he like stood in the back and made me super nervous. And then afterwards, he sent me an email saying, if I would be interested, he would be happy to mentor me. And frankly, I was like pretty terrified of Court because he's direct, he has it together, and my interactions had been brief, but like he was always so unapologetically Court, and he always asked tough questions. So I was like, I don't know. But then I had made a New Year's resolution that year to challenge my fears. And so I was like, yes, let's do this. And he definitely pushed me outside of my comfort zone. And that year was like a growth spurt in emotional intelligence, because I'd heard a lot about it, and I'd even participated in the YP summits on like the planning side to help others with it. But we really dove into that, and we used Clifton Strengths and other readings that helped me be more comfortable with me and what I'm strong at, and also be comfortable with points that I'm less strong at. And then how to find teammates and advocates that would help me build those areas, so that I don't have to spend so much energy trying to like fix my deficiencies. You know, other people can support there. So it's not all about individualism. It's really about the team for me. So I guess both of those taught me that it's a lifelong journey that we're on, and you have to take ownership of your own path. No one else is going to do that for you, and it's hard work to do that, and it takes a lot of time.
Well, thank you for sharing so vulnerably about those mentors for you. I think, folks like John and Court, we're grateful for them for mentoring you and helping you to be a part of our water industry. I think you've been a great mentor to me in terms of learning how to own my own directness as well. And just be passionate about the things that I'm passionate about. And so thank you for joining our interview this month, and really look forward to all the great things that you're going to do within the House of Delegates over the next few years. So
Aw,
thanks for
thanks,
your
Steven.
leadership. Yeah.
Oh, thank you for your leadership.